Everyone has the desire to live healthy, so I exercise and rely on healthy food and medicine. In particular, the desire to stay young with age has a deep root in history. This is why we feel the need to cleanse the human body. We all have the right to live healthy and disease-free. Therefore, if the key to health is within us, we are also responsible for our own efforts to achieve health. This belief that the human body is capable in healing itself is common among many medical experts. Hence, I would like to explore more about the human cleaning program that utilizes the mystery of the human body through testimonies.
Hi, my name is Jay Choi. I'm here to explain you about fermented enzyme complex. I've been using this for my patient for the last couple of years, and I realized this is a good time to let the people know about why I do it and what is it. So before I talk about fermented enzyme complex, I would like to explain you a little bit about fermentation first. So when we talk about the fermentation itself will change the texture, the taste, and the odor of the food, and it will make this storage life longer. And kimchi and cheese is a good example. Not only to make it the storage life longer, there is a lot of benefit out there. One of them is it actually neutralizes free radical. The free radical is, for an example, if you exercise too much and you eat too much or a lot of stress from the environment, then you will have a free radical. So antioxidant is naturally produced with this fermented food, and it will neutralize them, including some enzyme inhibitor also get neutralized by this fermented food. There was a study about the immunity between the fermented food and viral infection. It was University of Georgia. One of the recent studies shows you, for an example, group of mice pre-treated with a positive bacteria. Like, as you know, one of those positive bacteria pre-treated group of mice were able to survive the pneumonia virus. They didn't show you sudden weight loss. They didn't die. And the other control group, all of them actually died, and they show sudden weight loss. So this study already showed you there's immunity, and fermented food has a very strong relationship. There's a tons of benefit when you take this fermented food. So that was a study, and now I would like to talk about what really immunity and fermented enzyme related. So what happens is our immune system, there is the lymph cell we call GALT, gut-associated lymphoid tissue. GALT is the epithelial cell in our lumen. It's able to communicate between immunity and your gut. Out of this communication, our body able to make a decision whether welcome. In other words, we consider the foreign object in our body as our side or enemy. And possibly it will produce antibody too. So it's amazing. Our immune system is deeply depending on our good bacteria in our gut. That was one of the reasons why this fermented enzyme complex is necessary to boost your immune system in this difficult time. So thanks to this GALT, there is very important nutrients in our body, which is, of course, as you know, fiber-rich food. This particular fermented enzyme complex has a lots of fiber, including water-soluble fiber. The good thing is our body, especially the good bacteria, able to produce short-chain fatty acid. This is very important information. This short-chain fatty acid is the one able to communicate in between your immune system and your gut. That's another reason why we have to take fiber-rich food, fermented food, and enzyme complex. Now, why do we have to do this cellular level detoxification? In other words, health recovery plan. I'm gonna give you an example of, let's say you're living in city of New York, and whatever the reason, nobody is taking care of the garbage bag. And guess what? The street of New York is gonna full of garbage bag and strong odor, a lot of pests, a lot of mice maybe. It's gonna be very difficult to live on. Guess what? That's what exactly happened to you if you continue to eat all those heat processed packaged food, junk food, frozen food. All those days, your body, your cells, gonna be saturated with all those toxins and literally garbage. So that's why I gave you an example of the New York street. And one day, there's a good news. The garbage truck and sanitation workers show up. They took care of all those garbages. That's what we need to do in our body. There's a particular organelle named of lysosome in our cell. That is exactly what the same function as those garbage truck and sanitation workers are supposed to do. They will engulf that virus and bacteria or undigested food particle, and oftentimes they're able to recycle them, because in our body, whatever it's a virus or bacteria, later on it's a protein. So that's how we could recycle them actually. That is one of the major reasons why, in other words, we have to clean up before the time is too late. This gentleman is Jackie Bradley. He is a 70 years old man. And what he has issue, he has AFib, irregular heartbeat, and he was taking 7 different medications. He wanted to get rid of drugs if it's possible, and he wanted to lose weight. After a couple months health recovery program, he lost 35 pounds. Skin tone is brighter and shiny, able to increase his muscle tone, muscle mass is very happy, especially upper body. His heartbeat is regulated and confirmed by physician. He doesn't take any medication as of April of 2020. He's enjoying his 20 years younger look. He says he's feeling like a college boy.
I didn't know anything about detox until I came here and you were telling us about the detox program. To get into the detox program and the benefits of the detox program. Tried almost everything. The last thing I wanted to stick with is synthetic drugs. So one of my main problems is having heart palpitations. And I wanted to see if would there be any difference, and could I get out of a regular beat? Could I get a regular beat? The last thing is that I get tired. I was getting tired a lot, and mostly the weight loss. I wanted to see if this detox could work with me. I was like 20 pounds over my regular weight size. It was difficult. The first 3 days was very difficult. But after a while, I noticed that my body started to adjust and not feeling so hungry, and realizing that when I couldn't eat, there was food that I could eat that was prescribed by you. So that food really kept me going. I mean, to the dinner, which was just powder, but that powder, I had to mix it with a little bananas, and I have to tell.
Eleanor Bradley, she's a wife of Jackie. She's a 66 years old woman. She wanted to detoxify all those unwanted chemical and toxin out of her body all the time. After 2 months of health recovery program, she lost 30 pounds and her skin is shiny, and she thinks her mental wellness is much better. She is not sluggish anymore and very delightful with this result.
Because for years, my husband and I tried to maintain a healthy diet. We purchase organic and or non-GMO ingredients for our meals. But, you know, as you get older, it's much harder to maintain a healthy weight because I guess any number of variables. But we tried on our own to lose weight. My husband was more successful than I was. But my husband decided to call you. He asked me to call you and make an appointment. And so when we were talking on the phone, you suggested that we do a detox. And I was excited about that because I know detox diets actually work. I know they're also a lot of work because there's deprivation. And I didn't want to deprive myself, but I knew if I were to do the detox, I knew I would lose weight. So when we came in and we spoke with you, I was excited, but a little scared at the same time because the thought of giving up all the foods that I like wasn't, you know, that wasn't palatable, you know, to keep it in the same vein. At any rate, I knew we needed to do this. So that's why, because I knew that getting rid of all of the toxins and the heavy metals and all those things that accumulate in the body would ultimately make me feel better and help me lose weight. So in adding the avocado, I was able to get through the entire 10 days very successfully. And I was very glad that it was over. But the energy that I had and the fact my skin was amazing. It just, it was glowing. And people were telling me this. It wasn't me telling myself this. People were saying, oh my gosh, what did you do? And they were asking for the name of the doctor who I was working with. Let me have his number. I'm going to call him. So people were really excited to see that I was able to lose the weight and that it also altered, you know, the tone, the texture of my skin, everything to seem to be better. Total pounds, I lost close to 30 pounds.
30 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. And that's without food, you know, the typical meals that we tend to eat. Without food, I had more clarity. I was able to perform at work with a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? But after the detox, it was just, you know, just a lot easier.
Hippocrates, father of medicine, said, "There is a doctor for everyone." This quote is referring to the body's natural healing ability. The enzyme that has gone through 3 stages of fermentation awakens the slumbering doctor within us. The body has the ability to heal itself, and the Human Cleaning Recovery Program is the optimal way to activate this ability of the body. Please utilize this program in a healthy and productive way in order to propel yourself towards a happy and energetic life.